I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof.
Order.
If I'm going down,
Order
I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court.
Nino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So last night, I was just thinking about this fight that's coming up this weekend. Highly anticipated. Errol Spence, Shawn Porter, Errol Spence. Unification, WBC title on the line. And I was wondering because on the PBC on Fox show that they had Keith Thurman up there. And we all know the story with Keith Thurman when it comes to Errol Spence. We know Keith Thurman has strategically moved around Errol Spence. We know Keith Thurman has mentioned out of his own mouth that Errol Spence is hungrier than him. Keith Thurman has shown Errol Spence consistent respect and big ups Errol Spence. Basically, the moment Errol Spence got on the championship scene. Now, the funny part about it is I didn't know that they put on Instagram, Keith Thurman, he made this prediction. He said he's picking Errol Spence over Shawn Porter because of his defense, his poise, and his power. Now, I feel like just based off of boxing mind, based off of hands-on experience, and based off of a guy that I'm sure has sat back and evaluated and analyzed Errol Spence like in great detail. Keith Thurman making this pick, it actually it's not surprising to me, but it should definitely be an eye-opener for anyone that feels that it's a possibility Errol Spence may lose, or they feel like Shawn Porter, is their guy going in the fight. We all know how Keith Thurman is, and prime example, okay, the power. Keith Thurman, speaking on power, now granted, Keith Thurman hasn't had a professional fight with Errol Spence Jr., but he's well aware of his power. He's been in the ring with Shawn Porter. And this is one thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is we want to hear about Shawn Porter's pressure. Even though Errol Spence has just as much pressure, but to me more effective pressure. The pressure that he doesn't smother his punches. Shawn Porter has not knocked out any elite welterweights. So taking that into consideration, taking that into consideration, Keith Thurman is well aware of the difference in power that Shawn Porter has and that Errol Spence has. Then he said his defense. Keith Thurman is well aware of the defense that Errol Spence Jr. possesses. He's seen it. People used to talk about how Errol never moved his head. And then when he put on the boxing clinic against Mikey Garcia could not do anything. He couldn't nullify his offense, and he couldn't penetrate his defense. That's the defense that Keith Thurman is talking about. And then more importantly, the poise, the mental aspect of it all is Errol Spence Jr., even when he's in trouble. And we've seen that in the Kell Brook fight when Kell Brook had rounds and Kell Brook was having moments over Errol Spence Jr., he always remained poised. He always stuck to the fundamentals. He didn't go outside of his game plan. He didn't become wild and erratic. And that's not the case for Shawn Porter. We've seen Shawn Porter abandon his game plan. We've seen Shawn Porter's primary game plan to brawl by any means necessary. Now, if that's what he has to do to win, I understand. But when it comes to who has the most poise, you have to give that to Errol Spence Jr. So, going into this fight, and I'm sure I put the question out to the LDBC yesterday about my video. Basically, it seems like the PBC and Shawn Porter are purposely trying to forget the fact that Errol Spence beat Kell Brook. Now, the response that I got from that was basically, it's a promotional thing. I was like, okay, if that's what PBC is doing, it is what it is. But it being a promotional thing doesn't take away from reality. And I'm sure Keith Thurman is sitting back. So the one thing Keith Thurman is good at doing is ducking and analyzing fights. He has a brilliant boxing mind. So Keith Thurman is sitting back. I'm sure Keith Thurman is going through all his memory bank. He's remembering the fight with Shawn Porter for Kell Brook. He's remembering the fight with Errol Spence for Kell Brook. And then he's tying in his fight with Shawn Porter and notices the consistent things that Shawn Porter would do that's going to be beneficial to Errol Spence, and is ultimately going to come out with Errol Spence being the unified welterweight champion. Errol Spence said in there face-to-face, at the end of the night, Shawn Porter will be congratulating him as the unified welterweight champion, and I feel like Keith Thurman sees that as well. To me, it's just we're just at a point. It's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. For non-international boxing, shout out to that brother. Did an excellent interview with Errol Spence Sr. I just wanted to put that out there. Definitely very entertaining, very telling. Just the backstory and the upbringing, and having just some exposure into Errol Spence's family life and upbringing. It definitely like brings more credibility to what Keith Thurman said about the poise. It seems like Errol Spence comes from a very poised environment, a poised upbringing from his dad, a very poised trainer in Derrick James. And only thing I gotta say is this: there's a lot of things coming out. Kenny Porter is doing a lot of talking. Errol Spence Sr. set the record straight yesterday that Kenny Porter was there with a lot of other coaches, and Kenny Porter's primary role was an assistant. So it's just, I find everything very ironic. I wish that I could sit down with Keith Thurman. If I can just, all of the bullshit aside, I want to talk to Keith Thurman, the analyst, and present him with a boatload of questions when it comes to this overall Shawn Porter and Errol Spence fight, and I would just love to hear his take on it. So after Saturday night, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence will have a common championship caliber opponent, and if that fight is ever made, if that fight ever happens, it'll definitely be an even bigger build-up than this fight that's happening this weekend. But it's Nino Brown Boxing, guys. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.